I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 189, Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling Toukon Road Brave Spirits. Released exclusively in Japan in 1998, this game was developed by Yuke's and published by Hudson Soft. Okay, I get a bit confused with all the Japanese exclusive wrestling games. Some of them are alternate versions of games we got in the West, and initially, I thought this was one such game. However, it is its own thing, being the predecessor to the SmackDown games that became famous many years later. Being published by Hudson Soft was usually a good sign, although not 100% success rate. I really don't know much at all about wrestling in general, let alone wrestling all the way over in Japan. Still, some of them have been really fun, and maybe this one is too. Let's get into it. There's a pretty solid game facts guide from back in the day written by Nintendo Warrior. The main menu has 4 options: Exhibition, Title Road, Title Match, and Options. Title Road seems like the main single player mode in this game, so that's what we'll be doing. You could either choose Heavyweight or Tag Team, so I went Heavyweight. There are about 13 wrestlers you can choose from to start, with 3 secret ones. The names are listed in that game facts guide, but I don't know which corresponds to which on the screen. I went with the dude in the top middle because he kinda looks like The Rock. Oh, well, it tells you their name even in English before a match. I was Masahiro Chono, and I was up against Manabu Nakanishi. Before a match, it plays the wrestler's entrance video. Well, not really a video, it's all in-engine. It's nothing super special, just them slowly walking up to the ring and doing maybe a taunt once they're within. Then after that, you get some commentary from the announcer, with him hyping up the competitors for the match. Getting into the actual gameplay now, it's a lot different than what I'm used to. For one thing, you move with the joystick, unlike the D-pad in all the other N64 wrestling games I've played. Using various combinations of A, B, and Z, you can do different moves. It shows the name of moves on screen, but, well, I can't read what the heck is happening. Although it does acknowledge the DDT in English text. I've heard that stands for Demonic Death Trap. What the actual heck? After a bit, I made him get dizzy and knocked him out of the ring. He just stood there spinning like a bobblehead, and I thought I had a free win. Of course, he gets back in at the very last second. Apparently this is my character's special move, the Manhattan Drop. Just press all 3 buttons at once to perform it. I kind of like how it shows the button presses on screen like it would in a training mode for a fighting game. With the C buttons, you can throw wrestlers like in many other games. If you decide to drop kick though, make sure you're close enough. Neither wrestler would move for like 5 seconds. That was so weird. When you do land one though, it's pretty brutal. Looks like he ran into a brick wall. After several minutes of beating him up, I went in for the pin, and it was a success. It's kind of weird because it shows a message about who won and the time taken. 11 minutes and 20 seconds, but I hadn't even had the game booted up for that long. This game has a very unique thing too, where the loser can get back in the ring and just try to get some cheap shots in. Completely caught me off guard. Oh snap, my next match was against Satoshi Kojima. I absolutely love those Metal Gear games. There's a couple of other weird things about this game as well. In most wrestling games, it's like a fixed view of the ring while you wrestle. Maybe it'll zoom in and out a bit, but it never rotates. In this game, the camera is all over the place. I see what they were trying to do with it, but man, it almost induces motion sickness. I feel like if it were implemented better, it could be cool, but it's just way too jarring like this. The other weird thing is there's no visible health bar or status bar or anything like that. It seems like you've just got to guess how damaged they are by feel. It's nice to not clutter the screen with UI elements, but something would have been nice. Sometimes the punches are so jank too. I don't know, the animations for this are kind of all over the place. I wound up getting a pin after a few minutes, was kind of dominating at this point. The third match was against Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Dude looks like he's about to play in a Kiss tribute band. The info here talks about their special move as well as how well they've done in previous years. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. The graphics are decent. It's around the middle of the N64's lifespan, and it looks like it's going kind of for a half arcade, half realistic look. The fans near the front look decent, even if they only have like 3 frames of animation. A big plus is that the game runs very smoothly though, pretty much never lags. For the music, well, it's the exact same song the entire time you play. All it is drums playing and it loops every like 4 seconds. It gets old fast. Definitely the weakest point of the game in my opinion. Oh, I thought the ring out timer was 10 seconds, but guess not. Probably set to 20. I got the pin here without too much trouble, cruising through the game now. The only other mechanic to talk about here is reversals. If you press the same buttons as the opponent and move the joystick within a certain window, you can reverse their moves. I never really got good at this though, probably because it's hard to recognize what move they're doing quick enough without playing this a ton. But yeah, I was absolutely crushing it now. I completely had the game figured out and no one could stop me. I would win every time within about 5 minutes or so. Towards the end of the title road, I got in a match with a guy named Shinya Hashimoto. He didn't look any different from the others, but that couldn't be further from the truth. At the start of the match, he was coming out super aggressive. Just over and over, he was grabbing me and slamming me. It honestly felt like the difficulty jumped up out of nowhere. I never expected this kind of resistance. I started really focusing and we were hitting each other back and forth. It was honestly anyone's match at this point. I thought I had done more than enough damage after a while, so I went in for the pin. But it was only a 1 count. Oh god. Then I went for another and it was a 0 count. I guess I just don't understand pinning very well in this. After 30 minutes of the in-game timer, I finally lost. Feels like it just came out of nowhere. I was pretty worried about what would happen for losing. Some of these wrestling games make you go all the way back to the start. Thankfully in this one, it just starts you back at the same match immediately. On the next go around, I went for a different strat and went for a submission with the STF. Whatever the heck that move is. It worked beautifully. I kind of like that the game got harder near the end. I got a quick submission in the next match against Kensuke Sasaki. It was way easier than the last one. And after beating him, the credits rolled. Well, that was quick. It seems if you beat the title road several times, you unlock secret wrestlers, like 20 completions or something crazy like that. You could also do the tag team title road, but I'd say this is like the any percent ending, and I'm good with that. Well, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling Toukon Road Brave Spirits. I mean, the game wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. When you have the Aki wrestling games on this console, it's impossible to compete really. There seems to hardly be any information on this game out there. There are a few links to websites for the game in that GameFAQs guide, but they are all dead when I try them. It's just kind of unremarkable and forgotten about really. It does seem that this studio finally found their footing with the SmackDown games later on though. I just have no attachment to Japanese wrestlers or anything like that, and the game's just kinda meh. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're a massive wrestling fan. The music's terrible, the graphics are okay, and the controls are decent. I gave Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling Toukon Road Brave Spirits a 3 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1.5 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. We got a random track convergence. 202 games left on the list. Simulation, not viewer. You guys aren't allowed to play. We got Madden 2001, Rush 2, Custom Robo 2, Magical Tetris Challenge, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I think. Let's see what it is. 3, 2, 1, go. And they are off. Which will be the first? I see Space Invaders Rush 2. Space Invaders getting launched down. I see Ocarina of Time once again as well. We all know it won't be picked though. And it is Ocarina of Time as well as Rush 2 coming down. Ocarina of Time getting held up a little bit though. Rush 2 currently in the lead in the next Rugrats game. I actually don't know what that is. And the next Rugrats game is in the lead, followed by Rush 2 getting launched into this wall. I believe you want to be in the center here. That is optimal. So it looks like Rush 2 is going to have a little bit of an advantage here. Oh no, what did I do? What? Oh my god, I pressed a button. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I think we're good. Rush 2 now coming through. Some games fall. Oh, the other entry for Rush 2 has fallen. So only one chance left for that. Killer Instinct Gold is now in the lead, weaving through the Cracker Barrel pegs. And Wiley Country Club True Golf Classics is coming through now as well, currently in the lead. I'm sure that's going to be a great time. Chameleon Twist zooming ahead beautifully past all the pegs. And it is the next Chameleon Twist game. Okay, wow, a lot of lead changes there. And Chameleon Twist has won. All right, the next Chameleon Twist game, which is, yes, Chameleon Twist, but we will be playing the Japanese version. It's translated to English, and apparently it has a lot of extra features. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.